Ducati 2012 Carbon Diavel. This one has the full Termignoni exhaust. The only other mods I've made to the bike are bar end mirrors. I didn't like the stalks that came with it. I thought it made the bike look ugly. And this is a great bike, easy to ride, handles well despite the huge back tire. I think it's like a 240 or something like that. But it's got nice carbon around the tank here, and the same thing on the other side. Carbon accents here. I have the race cowl on. I got my wife on at one time, but ever since then she won't have anything to do with it. Sounds like a hot rod, that's for sure. So let's take it for a quick spin, and hopefully you can hear the engine. Hopefully I got the camera position right. This bike is definitely more upright than any other bike I have. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out, but we will try it. Today we're having a nice sunny day for a change. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll see. Get the visor down, make sure I got everything. It's going to be a short ride, because I want to beat the traffic. What do I like about the bike? Well, it's fast as hell off the line. Comfortable. Speeds greater than the interstate allows for. You get quite a bit of wind blast. The bike is exceptionally fast off the line. I've had no problems with it. The only annoyance, which I think has been noted on the forums, is the chain clacking against the plastic chain guard. But because the swing arm, if I understand it right, is hollow at some point, you get sort of a acoustical amplification of the chain hitting the plastic chain guard. It's doesn't harm the bike or anything like that, and I think there's been some do-it-yourself fixes noted on the Diavel forum. I've had mine in to have the chain tighten, and that didn't really do it. But that's the only problem with the bike. I mean, it's the 1198 Testastretta L-twin. It's been retuned to give more torque down low. I think it's like 98 foot-pounds of torque. Peak horsepower is about 162 with the stock exhaust. I think you probably pick up another maybe 5 or 6 with the Termignoni exhaust. I have not had this bike dynoed, so that puts it close to, I don't know, maybe pushing 170. As I said, the bike turns really well despite the fact it's got a huge, monstrous rear end on it. The rear tire, as I've read, has been custom designed for this bike to enable it to handle better than I guess a standard 240, if there is such a thing as a standard 240. Bike looks aggressive, looks bulky, but it is light compared to a traditional Harley Cruiser or Triumph Cruiser or any of those other bikes. And I think there's been some YouTube videos showing it racing the VMAX and the Rocket, and this bike, I believe, beat the Rocket, and it was within less than a tenth of the VMAX, and this will outhandle the VMAX easily. So it's a great bike. Yeah, carbon, standard, they've got some different colors now. One of the exclusive ones that just came out is the titanium. They want quite a bit more for it. I don't see the price justifying it just because it's got titanium on it. If it had another 10 horsepower, I'd probably consider getting it, but it doesn't, so I don't know if you saw it, but the guy in that van just made a crazy right turn in front of me. Very dangerous, especially for someone on a motorcycle. The rear shock, I believe both shocks are Marsaki, and they've got nice adjusters right up here, so you can adjust the rebound and compression. And there's a hand adjuster in the back to adjust the same with the rear shock. I've never messed with it. I weigh about 162, 163, and I will say that the rear shock is probably designed for a heavier person because I feel quite a few bumps. You can get a turn seat for it. It has 3 modes, sport, rain, and touring. I've only tried the other 2 modes once and pretty much leave it in sport mode all the time. It has traction control, ABS front and back, big Brembo, and the brakes are fantastic on this bike. And the flat out hauls. People have complained about the notchy transmission. I don't find that to be the case. I think it works pretty good, actually. And under throttle, the exhaust sounds amazing. We need more days like this. This is a gorgeous day. You can take a pillion on the bike. It's got some pretty cool foot pegs. When I park the bike, I'll try to show you again, but at the beginning of the video, you won't see the rear pillion foot pegs because they fold in and out. And when they're folded in, it doesn't even look like you have foot pegs, which protects the beautiful lines of the bike. I think that's one of the coolest designs of this motorcycle, and Ducati really knocked it out of the park. This bike really has set a new genre of motorcycles. I mean, it's been compared against cruisers, it's been compared against naked bikes. Against the standard cruisers, it smoked everything, including the V-Rod, the Rocket, and it was right there with the V-Max. Then they put it against, I think it was Motorcycle USA, put it against the nakeds with the Street Fighter 1098, the Z1000, Triumph Speed Triple, all those, and it handled them very well, especially in the quarter mile. Didn't do as well on the track for obvious reasons. It's got, it doesn't have the handling prowess of the smaller bikes, but it made a good accord of itself. Yeah, traffic's starting to get bad. All the crazy cagers are out. Try not to judge folks, but they're just, I don't know. I'm as guilty, I suppose, when I'm in a car. Try to be more conscious of what I'm doing in a car, on a motorcycle. Yeah, the transmission is a little clunky now that I'm riding and listening to it. This bike has about 4,500 miles. What's also nice about it, it's got I think it's a TFT screen right here on the gas tank that gives you odometer, gear, the mode you're in, gas mileage, and then a standard LCD for speed, tachometer, temperature, etc., etc. The other cool feature of the bike is the water radiators are not in the front of the bike like on most bikes. You have one on each side of the gas tank. I believe the new Buell motorcycles do that. I'm not sure about the old ones, but the new ones, the 1190RX and SX, are designed that way as well. And I believe the Benelli motorcycles utilize that design as well, which is pretty cool because enhances the beauty of the bike, I think. Radiators tend to detract, in my opinion, from the beauty of the motorcycle, but you also don't have to buy a radiator guard, which is sweet. You noted from the beginning of the video, the bike has a belly cowl or chin fairing. Maybe that's the proper term for it on this type of bike. Got plenty of power, man, to pass and muscle by cars. And I think they've also pitted this bike against the Corvette, the 06, in the quarter mile, and it smoked it. The Mustang Boss became a victim to the Diavel. And I don't think there's any other videos I've seen of it racing any other cars. Could be wrong, but it has raced other motorcycles, most notably the V-Rod, which is smoked, and one other Harley. It might have been a Softail or something like that. But it is a great bike, and it is a hot rod. And stoplight to stoplight, there probably isn't anything that can beat it, including a sport bike. Because it's long, has a long swing arm, it just puts all the power to the ground and doesn't wheelie, although it will wheelie. So I'm trying a new setup with my microphone here. I put some fur from an animal toy over it to try to reduce the wind noise, and we'll see how that works, because I know the last few videos I put up were pretty crappy. Apologize for that. Yeah, we're gonna cut this ride short. Too much traffic. So if you're thinking about a Diavel, tired of the sports bike thing, want something that handles well, will handle with sports bikes, hang with sports bikes, but also torch pretty much every car out there, from stoplight to stoplight, maybe even a quarter mile, this is the bike for you. And it does look gorgeous, I think. They have a chrome version, I think it's called the Diavel Chromo, Diavel Titanium, Diavel Carbon, which this one is, standard Diavel. They have a blue one, I think a white and black one. Still retains the trellis frame, which is pretty cool. Wheels are sexy, single-sided swing arm is sexy. It's a great bike. Haven't had to change the tires on it yet, but I know I'm going to pay a pretty penny when I got to change that rear one. But that's alright, that's the cost of motorcycle ownership. We're going to take it easy here. Maybe I'll pass this guy. The only other thing I lied that I don't like about this is when you use the turn signals and you want to turn them off, you push the button in. But if you hold that in too long, you go into ride mode, and I think Ducati could have done a better job with the design of the software so that it takes a little longer depression to activate the mode button, because I can tell you pretty much every time I ride I activate the mode button when I'm trying to disable the turn signals. And now we're stuck in some traffic because we got a bus, a dump truck, there's the car wash. I don't know if any of you have taken your bikes through a car wash. I have not. I've heard mixed reviews of it. I have found one detailing car wash that will do a motorcycle. They charge quite a bit. One of the dealerships that I have gone to, they'll do a motorcycle cleaning and detailing, and they did a good job, but it cost quite a bit of money. It wasn't cheap. We're gonna hang a right here and try to complete this ride, and this person in front of me is just terribly slow, as is this one. I don't mean to be aggressive like that, but some folks are indecisive in what they want to do. Sometimes I think they're looking at the motorcycle because they hear the sound and they're curious, which, you know, I mean, that's understandable. Yeah, one finger stopping with this bad boy. The Brembos on it are amazing brakes, just amazing. It's kind of interesting. Other manufacturers like KTM and even Triumph, it looks like they use the same brakes, you know, monoblocks and the same size and everything. But I don't know, something about the way Ducati designs them, they are, to me anyway, they feel more powerful. I've noted that on the 1198, the Superleggera, same with this bike. Just much more powerful, in my opinion, than similar or same brakes on other motorcycles. So I don't know, maybe it's the hydraulic lines or the cylinders, I don't know. But Ducati's brakes are fiercely powerful on every bike, Ducati bike that I've ridden. Say the same thing for MV Augustas. I had the F4 and Brutale, which I still have, as well as the Dragster, and they're also very powerful. Don't get me wrong; they're very good on the KTM's and the heck is that other bike? The Triumph Speed Triple, and you could stop those bikes with one finger as well, but I feel there's a noticeable difference in the braking power with similar components. Anyway, let me shut up, enjoy the sound of the Diavel. My automatic garage opener. I lied. That's my wife hearing the bike and opening it up for me. So that's it, boys. Enjoy.